Welcome to what we're going to be calling resurrecting rides, where we take really old cars that have been abandoned and forgotten for decades and decades. And we're going to try to do a few things. Get them running, get them driving, and then hopefully off to someone who can further restore them. And we're starting with this. It's a 1979 Jeep CJ5. And let me tell you what I do know about it. Not much. I know it has been parked and sitting since 1996. 29 years this has been off the road. I was also told that under the hood, there's supposedly a V8 underneath here. And about a decade ago, he and a buddy attempted to get it running and driving again. They were unsuccessful. What they did do was put a new starter motor in. What I also know is that we have 2 days to get this running again, because we're going to attempt to drive it 150 miles from here to southern Delaware and back to its owner. Do the brakes work? I don't know. Does the transmission do transmission stuff? I hope so. And is there a complete engine underneath here? Well, we're going to find out. But first, let's take a quick tour of the inside of this thing. Let's get you all in here. All right. Well, I mean, this is just... But this, that's actually not too bad. That's in pretty darn good shape, to be honest with you. The passenger seat, and this thing even looks better than the driver's seat. It's dirty, but I don't see a rip or a tear in that seat. That would actually, you clean that up, that would come out real nice. We got a air filter here. Should probably hang on to that thing. And one of the pedals, or somebody's missing the rubber to a pedal. Look at this center console. What do we got in here? Sort of a hubcap thing. This is actually really nice. Look how soft that is. Wish my TJ had that. That's nice. I was told the floors might need a little bit of work. The carpet, there it is, right there. That's where that goes. The carpet's actually not in terrible shape. Hey? Let's see what we got here. Oh, well, there you go. Got some plywood down there. Okay. Yeah, that's seen better days. I'm assuming that the passenger side is the same, but there's no door handle, so I can't get in there. So I'm just going to assume it's the same. But in the back, there are floor pans. So I guess if you wanted to get away from the wood look, you could just install those. Oh, we got another air filter down there. I wonder why there's two of them in here. All right, moving on. Dash. The CJ Dash, one of my favorite dashes of any vehicle ever. Just the gauges, the knobs, I don't know. It's very appealing to me. We do have an aftermarket oil pressure gauge. Hopefully that works. It says 913 miles. I love the old school rolling odometers. I wish they still made those. Who else's wish they still made those? Those are one of my favorites. I'm guessing that's 109,000 miles, and we're running hot. Clearly, that's broken. Oh, we got a custom shift knob here. That's pretty cool. And the cigarette lighter. Wow. I wonder if that is like the original cigarette lighter. Huh. Interesting. But check out this lamp. Look at this thing. This thing is killer. Wonder if it works. Man, I want one of those for my Jeep. That's actually really cool. You know, other than that, then we got a turn signal thing. That might work. Lights. Yep. Well, at least it pulls out. That's a bonus. Oh, the old school brake. What do you got? Nothing. All right. I don't know about that. Anyway, all in all, it's really not that bad. A little TLC, a few hours on a weekend. This clean up real nice. Let's check to see what's underneath that now. Supposedly, there is a V8 underneath here. And if it is, it would only make sense that it's a small block Chevy. It would just have to be, right? Still has the original hood latches on it. That's pretty neat right there. Let's see what we got. Okay. Well, I can tell you this. It's not a V8. But what it is might actually be cooler than a small block Chevy, believe it or not. Let me get you all in here So you can check this out. Fix your peeps on this. This is the original 258 4.2 liter straight six by AMC. Now, when they came off the line, these things only had about 110 horsepower. They were dogs, but they produced a lot of low-end grunt. And that's why people love them for off-road. And this thing is about complete and original as they come, right down to the blue on the valve cover and the engine block itself. Very cool. They actually call this AMC blue, and some people refer to it as Jeep blue or corporate blue. Still has the paint on it after all these years. That is radically cool. We do have some loose wires lying around. Not sure. I guess maybe we'll figure that out. Maybe we won't. I see the new starter. That's in it. Clearly does not have air conditioning, does not have power steering. It has something that resembles what was a brake system. Whether it works or not, that remains to be seen. And this carburetor, it says Carter Carb. So this should be the original carburetor. Tell you what, if we have to find a rebuild kit for that, we're never going to do it in a day and a half. And I bet you anything, the diaphragm on the accelerator pump is trash. The needle's probably not sealing properly. We're more than likely going to have to take that apart at some point, would be my guess. But this is very cool. It looks to be very complete. I'm actually kind of psyched we get to drive this old 258. Pretty neat. I think what I'm going to do now is squeeze my hand down there, right in this area, get a wrench on that crank and see if we can't spin it 360 degrees, make sure this old motor isn't seized up before we start yanking on the old ignition switch. I'm not the biggest fan of just grabbing a battery, throwing it in there, cranking on that starter motor. If the engine's seized, you're going to damage the starter motor, and you're more than likely going to do some internal engine damage as well. So it only takes a couple seconds to get a wrench on the crank, make sure it spins 360 degrees, and that way, when you do go to spin it, at least you know. This one is spinning. I mean, she's not spinning freely, but she's spinning. Okay. One more turn for you, girl. One more turn. Okay, good. All right. Well, we know that it's not seized, which is good. It's really good. And I think now we're just going to throw a battery in and kind of see what happens from there. The owner gifted us this. It's a Die-Hard Silver. He said it was brand new, yet this thing has definitely been used or just been sitting around for a really, really long time. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to test it with the old M&M before we slap this in, because I don't have a lot of confidence in this. If you didn't know, a good battery with the car not being started, 12.6, 12.8 volts. Good to go. 12.4, all right. 12.2, very questionable. Anything under 12, your battery's dead. It's not going to start your car. What do we got here? Place your bets. Place your bets. Wow. I'll let you all take a quick second to guess. Did you guess? Did you do it? All right, I bet you all were wrong. 11.98. Yeah. This isn't starting nothing. So, I don't want to buy a new battery. I think what we'll do is we'll take it to the auto parts store and have them charge it for us. And if you didn't know, now you do. Places like AutoZone, Advance Auto, maybe even O'Reilly's, they'll take your dead car battery and charge it for free. No charge. And I think what we're going to do is bring our Die-Hard to an AutoZone. That seems like fun. And if you get that inside joke, honestly, give yourself a round of applause, because you definitely deserve it. We're back. We made it. Stopped at Dunkin', got myself a coffee. Did you know that Dunkin' Donuts does not make their donuts in-house anymore? Remember way back in the day, there was that little Italian guy with the mustache, looked like Luigi, woke up super early in the morning, time to make the donuts. Yeah, apparently that guy doesn't work there anymore. Anyway, I don't think the guys at AutoZone really appreciated me bringing them a die-hard battery. More so because the advanced auto is literally across the street from AutoZone. But in my defense, you have to cross a major intersection. There's a light there. And, you know, I just chose the least path of resistance, or however that goes. I think what we're going to do is tighten this down first. And then, get off. And then we're going to, on the old ignition switch, and see if anything happens. But first, we should probably make sure there's some oil in here. I'm hopeful that there is oil in this thing. Oh, wow, that's a nice oil dipstick. That thing's solid. Look at that. It's like a crispy piece of bacon. There's no flop in it. I mean, you can read. Look at that. I don't know if you all can see it. Look how well you can read the add-in full line. It's heavy. This is nice. Wow. Yeah, that smells of gasoline. I'm going to just pretend that that's because of the carburetor. The needle's not sealing well, or the diaphragm on an accelerated pump is garbage. But there is oil in it. There's enough that resembles oil. We can at least crank it over real quick. The moment of truth. I am a little nervous here. Let's see what happens though. There we go. Oh, that is nice. That sounds strong. That's a nice crank right there. That is excellent news. Did you see it? That sounded really good. Really good. All right. We now know a few things. The ignition switch, starter motor, solenoid, they all seem to work good, great. Check that off the list. So we can move on to fuel and spark. Now, normally, I disconnect the fuel pump on these things because you don't want to be pulling through any of that old fuel that's been sitting for decades and decades. It's just not ideal. But the owner told us that this tank is empty. It's bone dry. So we don't have to worry about that. We can crank on that engine to see if we can't produce any spark. Does the ignition coil even work? I don't know. But we're going to hook up the spark plug tester and see if we can't get a little bit of light similar to a Pink Floyd concert and go from there. We're making meatballs here, people. Meatballs. You need all kinds of ingredients to make a juicy batch of meatballs. Well, that's what we're doing here. It's one thing to get an engine cranking. It's a whole nother thing to get it running. These spark plug testers are worth every dollar. And what I mean by that is the whole $6 that they cost. But, oh, that was nice. That was like something out of Willy Wonka on the Chocolate Factory movie. We're going to put you in here and slide you in here. And you guys are going to watch for that to light up like a Christmas tree. I'll zoom in for you, but if we got spark, you'll definitely see light right there. All right. Let's see. What do we got? Do we have spark? Engage. Yeah, I know. We got nothing. No Pink Floyd concert. So I think we're going to test the ignition coil first and see if we got anything going on with that. All right. I'll bring you folks in here while we test the old IC. Let's see. Can you all read that right there? It's not too bad, eh? Yeah. All right. So we're going to test that red wire first on the ignition coil, and then we're going to test the green wire. And ideally, at the red wire, we will like to see 6 volts, and on the green wire, we want to see 0 volts. So let me find a good ground here. And the red wire tells us we have, get in there, 5.88. Good. Nothing wrong with that. The green wire tells us we have 1.28. That's definitely not ideal. Let's see. Let's test something else out. Switching to ohms. Got to turn off the ignition here first. Alrighty. What do you got for me? What are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to tell me? 1.5. Weird. So we're at 6 volts on the red wire. Good, great, awesome. We don't have to worry about that. But the green wire at 1.3 is a little bit more concerning, which leads me to believe we have an issue with the points inside the distributor. And that could be the reason why we're not seeing spark at the plug. So we're going to take that apart and see what we see. Here's what we got. The distributor cap looks fine. No moisture, contacts all look good, and I see no signs of any carbon tracking. So that's good. The rotor tip, that looks good too. Some normal wear, but nothing to get excited about. This rusty thing you see down here, that's called a reluctor wheel. And though that surface rust is, I don't know, I'd say relatively common, it shouldn't affect anything unless it's interfering with the magnetic pickup signal, but that seems unlikely here. What I am concerned about is these wires, specifically the orange one. As I was kind of messing about in here, that seemed loose. So I'm going to check that for a good connection, but overall, the distributor looks perfectly fine. Here's the deal, y'all. That little orange wire I was talking about, yeah, that thing, well, it tells the ignition module when to fire. So if you have no connection or a poor connection, guess what? You got no spark. Now, the one on the distributor was a little bit loose, nothing terrible. Nonetheless, we little dibble-dabble on that, should be good to go. As we moved over to the firewall, just as up inside that loom, maybe 4 or 5 inches, that thing was hanging on by the tiniest little thread. So we did a little jingle-jangle on that, a little dibble-dabble on that. I think that was the reason why we didn't have spark. It sounds right. I think it's right. The only thing to do now is to test to see if we got spark. We still have the spark plug tester hooked up, so keep your eyes peeled right there for the mini Pink Floyd concert. We're going to turn off the light. We're going to go to night vision mode. Boy, if we got spark now, that would be amazing news. Ready? Spark. Engaged. We got spark. That is huge. So I think what we're going to do now is take some of our liquid magic over there, aka 2-cycle. We're going to pour it down the old juice box here, and hopefully we see this thing running for the first time in 29 years, right? Maybe even long enough where we can build up some oil pressure. In any case, let's get at it because I want to see this thing running. We're going to take some of this 2-cycle and probably pour a good 2 or 3 of these down the old carb here to get her running. Now, I'm just kidding. You need just a little bit of this stuff to work. But you want to use something like this, 2-cycle 40-to-1, rather than something like this right here, just some starting fluid. This is bad for an engine that's been sitting for decades and decades. This is helpful for an engine that's been sitting around for a long time. So let's get a little bit in her here and see. Oh, that gasket is falling apart. What we got. All right, first time in 29 years. Let's try it. We got. Let's try it again. Oh, yeah. Yes. No ticking. I don't even hear any ticking. Oh. Can you hear the vacuum leak? Wow. solid. It can't possibly be running off the bowl anymore. It has to be pulling fuel through now. I was told there was no gas in this, but clearly that's not the case. Clearly it's running off of the maybe the gas tank is empty. Wow, 29 years. There's obviously some gas in the tank, so I think we're going to try to start it without pouring anything down the carburetor. It is leaking here where that gasket is. I knew this was going to be a problem. We're going to get it started again, see if it starts without pouring anything down here. We got to check oil pressure. Is it charging? Let's see what we got. Right up, like a champ. She's smoking out of the back, that's for sure. We definitely have some seepage here, some gas. Clearly it's running off the fuel tank at this point, so we're gonna have to check this fuel filter, see what that looks like. But all in all, I mean, I can hear a tick now. It should work itself out, I would think. Running solid though. Got a little bit of blow by, nothing major, but she's smoking. She's definitely smoking. Right? I mean, nothing to complain about too much. Bring y'all in here. Well, we've got charge, so you know the alternator is working. The oil pressure's around, oh, I don't know, maybe 30. I know it's hard to see. It's not, I like to see it around 60. It says our gas gauge is bone dry. Again, we're overheating, but the gauges aren't terrible. It's running decent. I mean, I'm pretty impressed for 29 years. Sounds good. I want to check to see if this oil pressure went up. Just see real quick. No. If anything, it went down a little bit. That's slightly concerning, obviously. But she's alive. She is alive. We unfortunately are ending day one now. It's getting a little dark outside, if you can notice, and other duties do call that I have to attend to. But what an awesome day. We got this thing running after sitting for decades. That was awesome. Tomorrow, huge day. You gotta start with the carburetor, take that apart, clean it. Hopefully that gasket isn't totally trashed. Haven't even looked underneath the brake master cylinder. Have no idea what to expect there. Brakes are, well, I don't even think about it right now. Transmission, not too worried about it. It's a 3-speed manual. The clutch seems fine. I don't know what that means when we start putting power to it, but right now it's good to go. Not going to worry about it. Radiator, yeah, it's not leaking any fluid, but the thing hasn't been pressurized in years and years and years. How's that going to work? Nonetheless, today was an amazing day. A lot of fun. Got to see it running again for the first time, like I said, in forever. Tomorrow's a big day because it's our last day. We have to leave the morning after that. 130 miles in this. See you guys in the morning. Good morning, ladies and gents. We made it. Day 2. It's a cold one out there today. Definitely very chilly. Made some phone calls last night trying to find anybody who might have a rebuild kit for that car to carburetor. Nothing. We were shut out. Squadoosh. So I'm going to forget it even exists right now. I'm going to put it way, way in the back of my memory. I don't even know what it means. What's a carburetor? I don't know. So we're going to move on to what we're going to do first today. And I'm going to pull a couple of the spark plugs. I want to see what they look like. I want to know what the engine is trying to tell me. We're going to pull plugs 1 and 2, check those, see what that says. And then I think we're going to move over the brakes. Why not? Got to have brakes. Got to be able to stop. If we can even move, got to be able to stop. I guess in this vehicle, we could always do the old Fred Flintstone, right? Just put our feet on the ground to help us stop. I mean, it doesn't have any floors. So I guess it's feasible, reasonable. I don't know. Nonetheless, it's going to be a great day. I really honestly can't wait to get digging into this thing again. Let's pull plugs 1 and 2. Go with that first, and then try to cold start it. I got to thinking last night. That's always a trip. If anybody out there has an old car or knows of someone who has an old car, someone's sitting around for years and years, heck, comment below. I wouldn't mind taking a road trip out someplace. See if we can't get that running and driving again for you. Sounds like a hell of a thing to me. What do we got here? Okay. That's one. We got a oil leak down here. These spark plugs are coming out nice and easy. I like it. What do you got? Interesting. Let me show you guys. Here's what we got. It's looks like it's burning well. Combustion looks good, but she is running rich. That's one. This is two. Definitely running rich. I don't think we're going to change them out, though. I think they're good enough to go. Yeah, we're going to leave these in. The plugs are back in, but this idle mixture screw, man, it's way off. And that could have been part of the reason why we were running so rich. That thing was way off. So let's cold start it. Let's see what happens. There we go. You guys got faith? I don't know. I'm 50-50 on this. Oh, you know what? Battery. Battery. How did I forget the battery? Yeah. All right. You go there. You go there. Oof, vey. Let's try this again. That was scary for a moment. Here we go. Yeah. Come on now. Let's see. One. We'll give her 2.5. She's running. Yeah, that idle mixture screw was way off. You know, I forgot we're running off the tank still. Gonna have to get some gas in it. I was gonna run for a little bit, get some of that old oil down into the pan, but we have to put some gas in this thing. Pretty darn good for a cold start, though. Belt's quieted down for some reason. We got to get some gas in it, though, for sure. We got the gasoline here. I know it's gasoline because it says gasoline right there. We'll put this in, and then we're going to let it run for a little bit to try to get all that old oil all the way down to the pan. So we're going to do an oil change on this for sure. All right. Take you off. Let's get you in here. Wait a second. I can already see a problem. That's it? That's the best I can do? Well, what the heck kind of a setup is this? Ay vey. Huh. Alrighty. Next idea. We got a funnel. Boy, this reminds me of college. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to put that in, although it's not really long enough. And then, I don't know how in the hell I'm going to finagle this. Finagle? I don't know what I'm saying. This by myself. And pour this in. But we're going to try. Here we go. Here we go. Anytime. Nope. Not happening. All right. Whew. Could use a longer funnel hose for sure. Let's try again. Give it one more try. Let's not spill everywhere. Let's not do that. There we go. Much better grip. There we go. You know, I'm thinking, I don't know about you all, but I don't really like ice cream. You know? Who else is on board with me doesn't like ice cream? You know, if I never had ice cream again, okay, so be it. Never had ice cream again. Whatever. But I just don't really like ice cream. And I wonder if anybody else out there shares that same sentiment. I think we're getting some fuel in here. Don't know. It's definitely dripping onto the bumper. We probably got more on the floor than we do in the tank, but hey, I'm just sitting here pouring gas. Just sitting here pouring gas. I wonder if there's a country song about pouring gas. A lot of country songs about beer. Beer and trucks. But I wonder if there's a country song about gas. You think that's how they say it down south? Gas? Gotta get some gas. Pouring some gas. I don't know. Anyway. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Seems like a good place to end right there. We got the gas into the vehicle here, so that's a really good thing. I hope I didn't offend anybody with my terrible southern accent with gas. I'm actually spent most of my life in New Hampshire, so country folk, although southern country folk might not be my thing, northern country folk, nicest people you'll ever meet. Honestly, I mean that. Some of the nicest people I ever met were the country folk from New Hampshire. But I think we are going to run this now. Keep it running for a little bit. Like I said earlier, we're going to get all that crud, all that oil mixolate in real good and then drop into the pan. Anyway, I don't really know. I'm an idiot. Just remember that. Been running for about 10 minutes now. We did see the thermostat kick on. That's a really good sign. You know, the goal was to get it hot to drain the oil. But now that it's running and we're here, I'm thinking, let's see if it goes backwards and forwards. See if it stops a little bit. No time like the present. All right, 79 CJ. What do you got for us? E-brake off. Let's try forward first. There we go. Oh yeah, it moves. Reverse. Reverse works. Brakes are absolutely horrendous. That's good. Oil pressure is at a solid 25. Another excellent number. Forward. It moves. That's what really matters. Wow. Okay. Fantastic. Let's see these revs real quick. Stuck at a solid 3.0. It moved. Albeit it was only 11 inches, but it still moved. That's all that really matters, right? Clutch felt pretty good for what we did. All right. Brakes, you know, we stopped. It's good enough. Oil pressure, that's a little bit more concerning. Only about 23, 25 PSI at idle, and even above idle, we barely broke 30. Yeah. I suspect there was some pretty old engine oil in there. So we're going to switch it out with some brand new 15W40, and hopefully that increases those numbers a little bit. We're going to check the brake master cylinder here, make sure there's something in there that resembles brake fluid stuff so that we can stop. That would be beneficial to us. And then we're going to take it down the block, bring it back, see what the transmission does under load, see if the brakes work better. We're running out of time. We're just running out of time. We got to get this thing on the road, and the sun is starting to come on down in the sky. So, a lot of work. Got a lot of work. Here's where we stand, ladies and gents. We got some brand new 15W40 in it, looking good. New oil filter as well. Check. The fuel... I saw like this shadow out there. Felt like it tried to snatch me. That was creepy. Fuel filter looked good. We're not going to replace parts we don't need to replace. We're going to keep this one in line. We're going to bring the new one with us just in case, but that looked good. Brake master cylinder, opened it up. There was stuff in there. Looked like Dr. Pepper. So I'm assuming we are definitely good to go. Only thing we're going to do now is we're going to take it down to yonder about 100 yards, bring her on back, see what it tells us. And then I don't know what we're going to do after that. You guys keep saying carburetor, carburetor. I know that the oil for the engine went in there, but a carburetor. I've got some bad news. The mount that I have for when I'm driving broke. So I'm going to attempt to drive a 3-speed manual in a vehicle that has no power steering while I hold the camera as we go down the yonder. Wish me luck. Here we go. Okay. All right. You'll need to check this one out. I'm fairly certain I turn this while I press in this, and it's supposed to crank over. Well, alrighty then. I don't know about y'all, but I think it's pretty clear that we got some sort of malfunction going on inside of there. So we're going to put the multimeter to the battery, test that, see what it tells us. I'm a little suspicious. We'll leave it at that. I think it's going to read okay. Come on. What do we got? Stay. Stay. All right. 12.32. It's good. It's good. It's real good. Enough to do more than nothing. Perhaps a bad ground? Maybe we got a bad ground down there somewhere. Yep. Gonna have to delve into it. Here's what we got going on. We checked the ground to the block. It's a little corroded, a little bit loose. Don't know how that happened. But we cleaned it up. We tightened it up. Maybe that was the reason why all of a sudden we just weren't able to do anything. I don't know. Gonna hop back in the car right now. Car. Jeep. Jeep people will kill me for saying car. So we're gonna hop back in the Jeep. We're gonna go for our little cruise, a little down the yonder. Come back. Test the alternator. Test the battery. Because again, very suspicious with that alternator. Second time's a charm. Hopefully, it was just a bad ground. Yes. All right. Running really rough right now. Sounds like it's going to stall on me. All right, we're just going for it. Reverse, e-brake off. I got no mirrors, none. 0 mirrors. Oh, this is precarious. Oh, I don't want this phone to fall. Very precarious. That is close. We're rolling down a hill, so this doesn't really count too much as moving. But, so the steering's a little bit easier. Oh, it's soft. All right, first gear. Come on, turn, turn. Oh, yeah. We are off and running. Oh, very bouncy. Very bouncy. Wow. All right, come up to a stop sign. Brakes, brakes, brakes. Yikes. Right or left, right or left. I was always told right is right. So I guess left is left. We're gonna go right. Definitely needs a suspension. Sounds horrendous. That's good. Sounds absolutely horrendous. And we're stalling. We're gonna let it sit here for a second. Let the idle come back through. Smoothing out a little bit. Don't think I can make this turn. We'll back up a little bit. I think down that road right there, we're gonna try to get in a second. See what she's got. Try to hold the phone so my finger's not in the way. Come on, if you never drove a car without power steering, try it. All right. And second, in. Made it. All right, brakes. Brakes, they are tough. Down in the first. This is actually down in the first on this one, believe it or not. But she's moving. We're driving. It's gonna be a long journey, but we're doing it. Almost back to our destination. All right, see if we can pull into the garage here. Let's not hit that cop car right there. All right, turn, 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 turn. Too late. Missed my mark. Come on. I forgot how much fun it is to drive a car that doesn't have power steering. There we go. Let's stop. Whew. Well, we did it. 29 years this sat. We just drove it like 1,000 yards. Brakes, terrible, horrible, atrocious. That's great news. The suspension really reminds me of my dad's 83 Cadillac Eldorado. Very smooth, very soft, very bouncy. I'm pretty sure, although I see shocks, we're just riding on leaf springs at this point. Have to check the battery and this very suspicious alternator. I see the carburetor. It's staring at me. I can feel it staring at me. Have to at least acknowledge its presence at some point. I don't really have a plan. I'm just kind of going with the flow, as they say. But, I mean, hey, darn near 3 decades, and it ran. I figured, what the hey? Let's bring him in here while we check this battery. Earlier, I believe we were at 12.32. And now we're at 12.48. Battery is looking real healthy. I'm going to attach these probes here. You're all going to watch that right there. We don't want to see the number drop below 10. 10 is the magic number. Keep an eye out for it. Tell me what we got. The vacuum leak is something fierce. You can hear it from here. You're going to have to track that down. What did we get to? What? 6? You all tell me that said 6. 6. I don't know if I believe you. What are we at now? 14.5, 14.5 and a half. That's good. Means the alternator is charging the battery. Huh. 6? Really? 6. It didn't get down to 6. It got to 10. Solid number. Solid number. 14 and a half while we were running. Would have never believed it, but I did see it with my own eyes. Which means the battery is good and the alternator is charging the battery. Okay. But I remain suspicious. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to be on some backcountry road. I'm going to pull over some country store. Real nice folk. I'm going to get me some milk. Maybe a Diet Dr. Pepper. Who knows? I'm going to get back in it. It's not going to start. Telling you. Just telling you. Carburetor. It's calling me. I can hear it right now. Aaron. Aaron. It's calling my name. I got to go check it out. Time is ticking away. The sun, like I said, is whoosh. It's going down in the sky. Gotta leave in the morning. All right. Let's go. As I was working on the thingamajig whatchamacallit here, I noticed this interesting circle on the hood, and I'm assuming that's where the air cleaner rubs while you're driving. That shouldn't be annoying at all. However, I do have some concerns that I want to share with y'all. For instance, we're going to be leaving pretty early in the morning. We're going to need some headlights, hopefully some taillights. Headlights worked just fine. In fact, they were brighter than I thought they were going to be. Taillights, nothing. Put new bulbs in, nothing. Had to finagle with the wiring a little bit. I think we have them going right now. So now we have headlights, taillights, and brake lights. That's good. What's not so good is that we don't have a temperature gauge inside the Jeep. Now, that's not the end of the world. We can smell our way through the trip, but ideally, we would like that to work. Also, the tires. 3 of them aren't too bad, but the rear passenger tire, I don't think that thing is going to make 3 miles, let alone 130 miles. definitely concerned about that. Lastly, oil pressure. Now, we started off with 25. I took it for a ride a few minutes ago, got just a tick over 35. That's good. Feel like it's coming around, getting some of the cobwebs out, and maybe she's starting to feel herself a little bit, so that's great news. And one more notable issue, we do, if you can see, have some gas seeping from that gasket on the carburetor there. Yeah, gas leaking, heat in an engine, doesn't always turn out great. As you can see, day has turned to night. Carburetor, didn't do much. And what I mean by that is we cleaned it. It's about the best I can really do. It's all I can do. So we're going to just leave it be. Not going to worry about it right now. Going to have to deal with it on the road if it becomes a problem. I'm hoping that it doesn't. We're going to leave early tomorrow morning, before sunup, for sure. We got a long day ahead of us, potentially. So I'm going to get some sleep tonight, get some food in me, wake up early, and hit the road. See you guys in the morning. Good morning, day 3, day of. That right there, 136 miles. I tried to make this good morning video in the Jeep. It's pitch black. Couldn't see anything, so I came out here, had some breakfast, packed a few tools. It's early, but you know what? You guys heard me yap enough. Let's just start driving. Update for y'all. We're about 45, 50 miles in. Things are going pretty good. Nothing to really complain about except for the past 15, 20 minutes. It has been smelling hot, really hot. Remember, the temperature gauge doesn't work. Don't know what we're running at. So I pulled over to a Walmart. We're going to get some coolant. Maybe they have some bars, maybe some Blue Devil. We can stop 2 tiny pinhole leaks that I found in the radiator. If we get over that bridge into Delaware, there is nothing. No place to stop, no place to get parts. That's it. That radiator blows. Our journey is over. So we get those couple things. Other than that, not overly worried too much about the Jeep. It's running pretty well. Still really worried about that right rear tire. Get off the highway, I'll feel a little bit better about that, but figured I'd give you guys a quick update on where we stand.
I hear the train coming, it's rolling around the bend. I ain't seen sunshine, I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps rolling on down to San Antone. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle,
only a couple blocks from the owner's house. We made it. Quickly want to share a story with you guys, if that's okay. When I was a little boy, my grandparents had a 1958 Ford Edsel parked in their garage. By the time I got to it, it had been not driven in probably a dozen years. And I remember getting into it and playing it, yanking on the steering wheel, going through the gears, playing with the radio, pretending I was going places. I loved it. It was and is one of my all-time favorite childhood memories. And I remember as a teen asking them, hey, please don't get rid of that. I'll buy it from you one day. I just want to see it on the road again. And then about 6 or 7 years ago, I found out that they sent it to the scrapyard. I was sad. I was truly sad. So restoring this, getting this back on the road again, has just been almost like a redemption. It deserves a second chance, just like every abandoned car out there. And you know what? It's done well. I mean, this thing is done really well. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, watching the video. It has been so much fun. And remember, if you know of an old car or have an old car yourself that's been sitting around for years, let me know. Maybe we can give it a second chance. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. All right, 2 more blocks, and you did it. You did it. Wow.